So we have divided to four major parts. It could first is about the OM series introduction, the applications. Then the third one is about the OM API introduction, and the last one is an overview of about new Rock. Okay, so let me generalize the OM series. It is an all-in-one IP-PBX. So it is a highly integrated. We say that it is the next generation platform that meets all the requirements for office telephony. So these requirements could be related to video, fax, call conference, call recording, and we have the mobile extensions and the call center operations. So one device of our OM IP-PBX can support 20, and the maximum is we have up to 8 extensions. And of course, it can reach up to 10,000 as long as you have used our multi-site application. In other words, our IP-PBX can be available from SMB to large organizations such as government, hospital, bank, education, and more other applications. Okay, so I want to stretch out about the advantages that why you need to choose our IP-PBX. The first one is that it is an all-in-one IP telephony. It consists already of PBX, recording, voicemail, and the fax over IP. So it provides a seamless connection, not just only for the PSTN or analog terminals, but also with the IP base, SIP trunks, and SIP terminals. So we have also the unique feature with the so-called FOIP. So we have these features, smart FOIP, in which these features eliminates the two problems. Yes, the two problems with the fax over IP and the late T38 re-invite and the G711 synchronization problem that we have faced in the PSTN success rates of fax. So by the way, we support up to 33,600 BPS for the fax rate. The next one is that it has a flexible configurations of FXS, FXO ports because it is fully modular and hot swappable. Then we have the auto attendant feature with the multi-level IVR, so you can think of many different ways. You don't have a limit for your multi-level IVR. The next one is that we support a P&Pay of the plug and play for our Huawei. It's a mobile enterprise phone app. It's a mobile extension. The next one is we support the PNP for NeeHau soft console. It's for the mini contact center or the customer relation management. So it is an integrated business phone management with many extended utilities for your extension. The next one is we have the multi-site application via IP trunks. So you can connect your branches wherever you are from other countries using our multi-site feature. So we can support up to 50 multi-site connections. Then the next one that is very important nowadays is that we support an XML HTTP-based REST API. So our IP-PBX, the OM series, it offer an unified open interface. So really it allows developers to control. They can manage, they can monitor, and they can analyze the statistics of the call using the OM API. Then we support failover to PSTN upon network failure. So upon a network disconnection or upon power off, so we are, I mean, guaranteed that you can still receive an incoming call. Then we are developed on Linux base. So I would say it is more stable, reliable, and secure features that we offer to our clients. And then our web GUI is very user friendly and easy to use. And the other advantages we have is that you can remotely access your device using the new Rack Cloud. So this is a very big advantage if you use this feature, because your technical guys don't have to go to the deployment sites. They just have to access sitting on their chair in the office, then remotely accessing or configuring the device that has issue on the field. Okay, the last but not the least is that we support a class 1 lighting protection. So especially to those countries that has more thunderstorms, some electrostatic discharges. So we have a built-in surge protector for our device. So it means that it ensures the line circuitry on the equipment that can operate more reliable. Okay, so we have here the overview of our OM IP-PBX. If you want to use 50 users, so we recommend to use the 20G and 50G. And for the mid-size office, so if you want to use it's from 200 to 500, so we recommend our OM80E or the OM200G. So for the large size and high density offices, so we suggested to use the OM500G and the OM8000. So these two here is no FXS, FXO modules. But of course, you can use an analog gateway if you want to use the analog lines and connect with our IP-PBX. So these devices that we have, we can also support the call recordings and the um, internal storage. So it means that you can also do the remote recording, but basically it just depends on the capacity of the recording server. Okay, the next one is about the reliability of our devices. So we are confident that we meet the standards of 99.9% the telecommunication level reliability. Why? Because we are support a full modular design, and those are hot swappable. You don't have to turn off your device as long as it's, you have plug-in in and there's a power. You can just pull out the FXO FXS module then and replace that. Then we have a dual power redundancy, dual unit redundancy, and we have a network port redundancy. So everything has its redundancy capability. And of course, we can support of less than 5 seconds for the active standby switching time. Of course, we know that nowadays we need to enhance our security features of our devices to prevent those malicious hackers to intrude our devices. So for the communications part, we have to improve the encrypted signaling, the media, and the data transmission. Of course, we can support the long distance call restrictions. At the same time, we have the outbound call authorization control. With the use of the login to the web GUI, we have used the HTTPS and SSH access. Then we have the access whitelist, the intrusion prevention, the brute force attack prevention. So it will limit the number of packets or the data that tries to access our device. Then it will just block the IP address that has limit or the maximum of the IP packets. Then we have the terminal access using the registration on or the user agent authentication. This is more on the voice security. For the IP network, we have to work with the SBC for network isolation, and we have the various QoS policies for the VLAN, for the VLAN tagging. Yes, so we have these rich features, and I think they are comparable enough to other brands. And what other brand or our IP-PBX also have these rich features. So you can see here that we have the mini contact center. That is one of our advantages, and of course for the RESTful Telephony API. So we have a bundled software for Huawei APP for mobile extension. So this APP is that designed specifically for OM. Though you can use that for other IP-PBX, but it's more convenient to use this one together with our OM series. So with this one, you can through the wireless and the mobile data networks or your telephone networks, so it can connect you anywhere, anytime on your network. So you can receive the calls on the when your screen is black, so you can receive incoming call. Then we can support one extension to two terminals and up to 6-way audio conference. So aside from that, you can have a check the colleague or contact list. We have the instant text notification that is in connection with our NeeHau. So we can send text, especially for the technical guys on the field. So it saves time. At the same time, it makes their work very efficient. Of course, you can search the history, and of course can have a call transfer function. Okay, this bundled software, we call this one NeeHau client for mini contact center. So again, so we just one click, users can easily access their contact list. They can dial out, and they can see the incoming call. It will pop up on the screen, and the user has the capability to decide if she will take the call or she can forward the call to another extension. And of course, you can just take notes, you can add memos, and of course the call recordings and call histories. So it's easy for you to recall that and to listen the recordings. And of course, that is one important features we have is to see the data statistics. So this is very important for the admin guys. So you want to see if this extension, how many calls he have answered in one day, how many calls that he neglected in one day. So by these statistics, the admin can see where or what is really happening on this certain extension, and he has all the records. So by the way, this APP is supported only for our OM20G, 50G, and OM80E. Okay, another thing that is very important for management of the device is our UMS, or the Unified Management System. So it improves the efficiency, and of course it reduces the maintenance cost. So here, you don't have to install a client software. All you have to do is to comply the basic requirements uh, of installing this system. Then, of course, it is a browser-based access used to the web GUI. And by that, after that, you can remote configuration. You can manage the device. You can do the auto provisioning. You can back up the configuration files. And of course, if there are some new release of versions, you can upgrade the device very easily. And again, for the admin purposes, So it can send security event notifications. So whenever there are failures or there are some issues on the device, it will send to the admin to his email or to his mobile phone. So with this one, it's very efficient because you can already solve the problem without knowing that the client has a problem. So it's very efficient for your site. Okay, so another one is our software recording agent. So here, it is a Windows base and it supports a managing files of the voicemails. You can play, you can search, and you can do the management of some functions that you want to listen. Then it improves the performance to 300 concurrent calls. So it supports searching recording files based on a user-defined time range. And so all the files that are generated by OM, it will stores in the MP3 format in the corresponding directories to your recording server. Okay, so let's proceed with the applications for our OM series. If you have the 50 people or for the MSEs, so we have this solution. It is based on the OM20G and 50G IP-PBX combined with our soft console NeeHau. Then we have our soft phone for your mobile extension. Then it provides a smart inbound call handling and a customer call management for SMEs. So we have the smart inbound handling. We have this latest smart switchboard that allows extension to remember the caller's phone number. So it simply bypass the auto attendant of your system. So again, if you have 30 or fewer members or less than 50, you can use our 20G or 50G IP-PBX. Okay, the next one is that for the enterprises with multiple branches. So with this configuration, you have so many branches on different areas. So it could be on the local, domestic level or globally. So the enterprise can deploy the IP-PBX at the headquarters. Then the respective branches, you just have to use the multi-site feature, and of course, that would translate to a zero-cost interconnection. Full calls can be converted to local calls. Then the time and energy or the efficiency for using the centralized management of the headquarters switchboard. So it means that for any local breakdown, it will not affect the network's operation, which translates to a very high reliability of the deployment. Okay, the next one is the call center. So if you want to use less than 30 people, so you can have the 24/7 smart switchboard. So again, we introduced this latest feature with the smart switchboard that allows the extension to remember the caller's phone number. So meaning to say that it bypassed the auto attendant. It has, the caller and the specific customer will ensure a very optimum experience services. Okay, so the next one is about the RESTful API. So as I have mentioned, this is one of the advantages that we offer for our OM series because we offer a unified open interface. So the OM API, essentially you can have to send a very simple XML message that communicates between the application server or any third-party application or via cloud. So, and the OM device through the HTTP protocol. So, so the application server, I mean, using to the OM API can do some parameter query, can do some parameter configuration, can have the call control, call transfer, and any status conditions for inquiry. Then, of course, there is no license charge. So we have these very good advantages that we offer to our partners. So this is one of the application that is very useful for interworking with the hotel and the hospitality management software. So using the PMSI, or I think one good example is that in the domestic market in China, we have worked to a multiple or several PMS system provider in China, and we are confident that it can also work or replicate the success in the overseas market. So we can work with any PMS system provider. So the only way that we want you is for your coordination, for your cooperation. Maybe you can provide the relevant documents of any your PMS system. So I think we have a dedicated R&D team, and we're very much confident that we can work it together in the overseas market as well. Okay, so we have another application for translating voice messages into the text via Google Voice Recognition. So this is a very good example, especially in the restaurant when there is an incoming call, try to order something new, then the OM system will answer the call, and it will, through the use of the Google Voice Recognition, it will translate that to the text. So we have here under the AI, so we can use that application for our customers as well in the overseas market. And I think in the domestic market, we have numerous scenarios already being implemented and deployed using our OM IP-PBX. So I think some of you here are familiar already with our product line, and we not only catering about the IP-PBX, but we also have gateway, other terminals, IP phones, and applications, and some patch panel. So once again, these other, I mean, products, we will be setting some training about this product line. So in the future, we will schedule you to tackle each one by one. So for the global market, we have around 1,200 plus partners, and we have already more than 10 global distribution partners, and there are many, around 600 plus system integrators, providers, and some resellers. So these are some of our major partners, as you can see from the major telecommunication industries in China. We have China Unicom, Telecom, and Mobile, and of course the telecommunication giants for Huawei, and some other are already our partners. With regards to certification, so we have this a compatibility platform with Huawei. Also, we get the certification from Telecom Malaysia, and also from the Broadsoft certification. And aside from that, we have the ISO, the CE certification for our product as well. Yes, so I have shown you here some of the solutions, the success stories from the IT telecommunications, from the bank industry, government, healthcare, retail industry, education, and hospitality. So I would say that New Rock has a very, very vast experience in terms of in shall we say in the domestic market, and we're confident that we can help and replicate this scenario in the global market as well. So I think that's all for today, guys, and I hope that you have learned something new today, and I hope you are now interested to try and use our OM IP-PBX.